This is Duke University.
Guys, welcome to the 11th or the 5th annual Duke Startup Challenge elevator pitch competition. My name is Megan Gallagher. I'm one of the 4 co-presidents of the Duke Startup Challenge, and I am a second year here at Fuqua. For those of you who are not familiar with the Duke Startup Challenge, it is one of the only campus-wide organizations, and we have 2 competitions during the year. We have the elevator pitch competition in the fall and the executive summary competition in the spring. And the way that it works, both for the elevator pitch competition and the executive summary competition, is that there are several tracks you can compete in. There are 5 functional tracks, you can see down here at the bottom, and then 2 specialty tracks, so 2 undergrads. It's divided into 2 for the undergrads. For tonight, we'll have both a judge's choice winner and an audience choice winner, and so make sure you guys stick around. You can vote for your friends. And then those 2 winners will go on to compete this Friday in the finale. We will have David Thacker from Greylock as the keynote speaker. Should be a really great event, you guys. So these are a panel of judges. I'm going to actually ask you guys to stand up and introduce yourselves to the crew here.
All right. Hey, I'm Sean Lily Wilson, the guy on the bottom there. I just started up Full Steam Brewery in Durham. I am a MBA and MPP from the class of 2000. And actually was on the student board of the very first Duke Startup Challenge. So it's nice to come full circle and be a judge here a decade later. Our focus at Full Steam is just creating a distinctly southern beer style using local farmed ingredients in the brewing process. So we mess around with sweet potatoes, rhubarb, scuppernong grapes, hickory smoked porter. We have an on-site tavern, so come on by. We're at fullsteam.ag is our website, emphasizing the ag part. Am I doing all right?
You're doing great. In fact,
Okay.
you guys are hosting a party afterwards, right?
Yeah, right.
I actually asked the judges to also give the teams pitching tonight some advice. So.
Don't make jokes like that in front of you had me going there. I guess two little phrases that I always keep in mind that work for Full Steam, and I think the teams participating should keep in mind. One is zig when they zag, right? That is when when the masses are doing something, do something else. So we're creating a distinctly southern beer style because no one else is doing it. That gives us instant media attention, a kind of query, a tilt of the head. When if we were just to open up a traditional brewery, there's enough of them out there that we wouldn't have that opportunity. And then specific to entrepreneurs, the phrase that I like is leap and the net will appear. So you have to take the chance and have faith that there'll be a net there to save you when you take that big leap.
And I'm Jay Mebin. I went to Duke undergrad, graduated in '90, and then came back 7 years later to start business school and finish in '99. I've got a couple small companies here in the area. One is called Snaptoes.com. We manufacture custom photo handbags. It's a mass customization business. We manufacture in China, Mexico, and in the U.S. Also have a company called Thundershirt.com, which is dog anxiety wraps. So we solve the problem of what do you do with a dog that's afraid of thunder and loud noises. I have an environmental lab out in RTP. We measure for trace metals and environmental samples. And then also involved in a database mining business called Archimetrics.com. As far as looking at particular business, it probably goes hand in hand with what Sean said. You do just need to jump in, and I would encourage each of you that now is probably the best time in your life to do that. If you wait until you have a job and get comfortable having a job and having an income, it gets a lot harder to jump, especially if you don't know if the net's there. So do it sooner rather than later, I guess would be my advice.
My name's Patricia Blizzard, and I have Kaju Salon. I'm a 99 grad, graduated with J. Mebane. And let's see, about 7 years ago, I decided to start a salon because there just wasn't the high-end salon out there that I was looking for, that all my friends in the MBA class were looking for. So we went into that market. We knew the niche was there. Zero experience in the salon world, knew nothing about it going into it. I had to spend about a year researching it. I just understood the market that I was going after and the service that I was planning to deliver. I guess if I have any advice, and I've seen it from both ways now with the salon, and my husband works at Thundershirt. He developed the actual shirt when our dog had the anxiety. It's, if nobody else is out there doing it and you know that that market exists, spend a good amount of time trying to figure out why. Because half the time it's because nobody's bothered to do it and they didn't think about it. The other half the time there's going to be a really good reason why nobody's doing it.
That is great advice. Well, my name is Chris Duke, and I am an 87 grad, so I had Doug Breeden as his first class here. And you guys can relax, because although my last name is Duke and I went to school with Michael Fuqua, neither one of us are related. Believe me, I looked at that tree as hard as I could. Had lunch with Newton Anger. I tried everything I could figure out how I could tie that into it. I'm founder of Anna's Gourmet Goodies, which is an online cookie gift company. So you go to the website, and you place an order, and we ship cookies to addresses all over the United States and to military bases around the world. So, in terms of advice, I would say two things that was really good advice about making sure that if nobody else is doing this, there's a reason why. There's a reason why there's not a Starbucks in the middle of the Mojave Desert. So, I would say two things. One is to understand the importance of having what I call authentic passion. Ideas are really cool, but folks, they're a dime a dozen. They really are. Ideas happen all the time. To take an idea from something you thought of to something that people will actually pay money for takes a lot of passion, takes a lot of effort, and there's going to be a lot of hills and valleys and all that kind of stuff. To make it through that, I would encourage you to really think about what you're passionate about, because that will come through. And then the last piece of advice I would say is to really understand what business that you're in. Because people say to me all the time, they say, wow, there's Chris, he's the cookie guy. Because I get to make chocolate chip cookies every single day, which is pretty cool. But I'm really not in that business. I'm in the business of making people happy. That's the business I'm in. So the box that I packed up today and I shipped off to somebody, they're going to get it and they're going to open it up and they're going to take those cookies out and they're going to try them and they're going to feel really good. They're going to say, wow, this is great. They're going to think about their grandma. So know what business you're in. It's really, really important. Because when you know what you're really doing, then you can effectively market your product.
Great, thanks, guys. I'd also like to take this time to thank our sponsors for the evening, without whom we would not be here tonight. You guys are very important to us. So this is how it'll work. Each team is going to have 1 minute to pitch. This is a true elevator pitch. The judges will have only one question as a team to ask the team pitching. And the team will have 1 minute to respond to that question. And I'll be keeping the timer. Also, we have some forms in front of you guys. Feedback is really helpful for these teams. So if you guys can fill out the feedback form, almost as important as winning money is for these teams to get feedback on their idea, on their pitching style, anything you've got to tell them. So 2 teams tonight will advance to the final rounds on Friday. One team will be chosen by the judges. The other team will be chosen by you, the audience. While the judges are deliberating out in the hallway, you guys will pull out your cell phones, and I will give you the codes to vote for the team that you think should advance to the finals. Oh, and then also, if the team that is chosen by the judges is the same team that's chosen by the audience, it is the judges' runner-up choice that will advance as the second team. Okay. Oh, so I need your help with one more thing, audience. So each team has 60 seconds to do their pitch. At 60 seconds, this screen will come up, at which point you guys need to yell, stop. So we'll practice this. So, hi, my name is Megan Gallagher. I'm here to pitch my really great company idea. There's going to be incredible growth. Stop! All right, let's get the pitches started. If anybody has never used what I call a clicker, just let me know before you go up. I'll show you how to use it. So we have our first team. First team up is, I may mispronounce this, but advising?
Yeah.
Right. You can stand wherever you feel most comfortable. So you do just learn how to computer. And then just give me a minute to get my stopwatch started, or set up here. Okay, whenever you're ready.
All right, good evening. So last week, many of us went to our course advisors, to ask for help, and we left the meeting thinking, hey, where was he advising? And then afterwards, we go online, to check up the course reviews, look at professor ratings, see the 5 stars, 3 stars, 1 star. And then you go home and think, wait, no one wants to take the time to really write those reviews and put all those things. It's inaccurate. Well, you don't have to, because we present to you Advising, a new online service designed to recommend to you the courses that you want to take, that you need to take when you want to take them. We have unique proprietary data from the university registrar and our own in-house developed data mining algorithms to recommend to you the courses that you basically have to take. We analyze all the trends and all of that. It works just like how Netflix recommends movies. We take care of the hard part. In the future, we see ourselves servicing our primary customer for free, the students, but also the university, recruiters that might come to Duke, and show them the specific data involved in each undergraduate class and the magnitude of it.
Everyone, please turn off your cell phones.
I think he was going to. I think you were probably going to get to this if you hadn't run out of time.
Yeah, sure.
But what's the revenue model?
So our primary customer is the clients, right? That's for free. But later on, as we develop the data we have and the analytics of, like, say, for example, this class, for some reason, when X professor teaches it, has much higher attendance over the years, or a rising attendance over the years, or it's much more popular, right? And that kind of information is very, it's important for the university to know that, because they can kind of structure their curriculum, based on that. Furthermore, currently the way undergraduate education is structured is we have major tracks, minor tracks, right? But it's hard to really, pick out the importance of courses that aren't in the major and minor tracks, because you can't really tell, how that relates to things you might do after college. But with our data and the careers placements that students might, be in after graduation, we can say, hey, people who became consultants took this class even though it wasn't part of any of their major classes. So this is important information for both recruiters and the universities.
So who's paying for it? I'm sorry.
Universities, companies.
Guys.
Thank you.
Hey, Kane.
Hi, my name is Kate Kane, and I have had a passion for jewelry my entire life.
Before coming to Fuqua, I spent 5 years working in the industry for Harry Winston. During the recession, consumers became increasingly more mindful of the emotional value behind their discretionary investments, and experts predict that this trend will continue to drive the growth in the $49 billion US jewelry industry. Yet there is currently no jewelry company focused on providing high-end, beautifully crafted, personalized accessories. K-Kane is going to change that. Our customers are those who are looking to celebrate themselves, their loved ones, and the important moments in their lives. Our designs incorporate letters and significant dates and spread them across a variety of accessories. We have had 4 sales in the past week without any sales or marketing efforts, leading us to believe that there is a strong business opportunity here. We need your support so that we can advance to the next round of the Challenge Finals to compete for the chance to win the $5,000 that we need to develop our e-commerce channel. Thank you.
I would love to hear how you plan to market the product.
Sure. So my background at Harry Winston was marketing, and again, I think that an important differentiator for what we're trying to do is to capture people who are looking for a product that does have emotional significance. So to begin with, I really want to introduce the product to the market through bridal fairs, because I think that the wedding is the perfect occasion for which people are looking to give gifts that have emotional significance. So I want to put this in front of brides, get them to want this piece that incorporates potentially their wedding date, ask their husbands for it, and then potentially give this piece to their bridesmaids. And the sales that I've had so far have really come a lot through grassroots marketing and people seeing people wearing the pieces. So I think that that's going to be really important early on. They're personalized, but I'd be happy to make you some.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to pitch an idea that will bring Chinese food as popular as McDonald's in US. So what's the problem now? The problem now is either you see the Chinese food, but you don't know how it's cooked or how it tastes, or it's cooked a long time ago. That's Panda Express. The other way is you need to wait for 20 minutes to get the food you order, and you don't know what exactly it is until you have the first taste. So I'm going to bring this idea that's fast, that pretty much exactly the same model as Chipotle, that you have control of every ingredient in the dumplings, and you only need to wait 3 minutes to get it served. So first of all, you are going to choose the ingredient A, the first ingredient, then the second ingredient, and then you just need to wait 3 minutes for it to be boiled or steamed, and then you will get the food exactly what you want.
So we're kind of deliberating and wondering where you would do this. Would it be a franchise model? A little bit, just flesh out the business concept. We get, I think we get the product concept, but.
Definitely franchise model will be will be considered, but I will start with like a small vendors around Duke to get a brief idea of how's the margin look like for the operators and how much actually you need to. How much people will come every day for the market?
Okay. Thank you.
Greylock International? Yeah. 'And do you guys need the clicker? Whenever you're ready.
10 days ago, China Railway announced a 6 million loss in a Middle East construction project. In fact, many Chinese overseas construction projects are failing in the same way, due completely to that lack of business, legal, and financial expertise outside of China. International project owners also lack of experience working with Chinese contractors. Greylock Consulting filled this gap. This is 2 billion niche market for consulting service with 20% annual growth and no strong competitors. Our founder, Kai Bo, is a leading expert in this industry. He owns a sister company with 50 people providing project managed service in 3 different countries. By leveraging his reputation and acquiring $500,000, we can achieve 5 million revenue in under 3 years. Thank you for your attention. We're ready to take some questions.
So I understand the general concept behind the consulting. What relationships do you currently have, with the Chinese construction industry that would allow you to get into this industry?
Yeah, we have a sister company with 50 people, and in doing this business, we have set up a wide network with the central government in charge of construction overseas, and with state-owned companies, leading companies that top ENR for top 50 companies. Personally, I deliver lectures to them, to the leading company executives and to international project owner officers. Actually, I'm the only one to do that kind of lecture. So my sister company has a strong relationship with them. And we also have a strong relationship with bankers and insurance companies, since our team have many years of expertise in this field. We not only have a very good relationship with domestic companies, but set up a very good relationship with internet.
Golden Diamond Mansion certification.
All right, imagine, if you will, you are extremely wealthy. You have so much money, you don't know what to do with it. You don't know what to do. And you've got the big house, you've got the car, you've got the 30-foot yacht, you got the wine cellar, you got everything, but your slightly richer friends just keep one-upping you. They keep getting a slightly better car, etc., slightly bigger wine cellar, everything. So you know what? They got you. You're thinking, all right, where do I turn? Then it hits you. Golden Diamond. I'm going to get my house certified, and it's going to be a certified mansion. I can rub it right in their face, get a huge golden shiny plaque right above my fireplace. Whenever they come over, I've got it. If they want to try to get theirs certified, good luck. But I got the expensive art. I got designer wardrobe. I got everything. Everything's going for my house, and I love it. So, thank you.
Mindset where I have all I'm wondering why would I buy that?
assuming that it's something I can buy, and because I know if I buy it, Jay's probably gonna call you, and Jay's gonna buy it too, so.
Yeah, no, that's true, but if you're the first one, you discovered it, you're like, I got it, none of my friends got it first, I've got it. And of course, like in our original expansion model, we're gonna be deciding whoever's the first one to like get certified is obviously gonna get a little bonus in the rankings just to kind of start up business, and then we'll see how it goes from there.
It's all about the prestige. I mean, bowling alleys are fun, swimming pools are fun, but I think in the end we all know that it's all about the prestige at the end. And, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Street snacks?
Oh my god, yes, that is count.
Technical problem here, the videos are not working in the system. So these are actually the quotes that people are saying when they try it. So that was the awesome response we got from Duke students who tried our delicious street snacks. We believe that there's definitely a need for a place on campus that provides not a full meal but a light snack, which is open from late evenings to late nights for students who are starting late at night to munch on. And that's exactly what street snacks is all about. We're easy, convenient, affordable, and delicious. We're a 3-member team. That is Tom Mercer. He's excellent at Indian cooking. We have Shoaib Rahim, who's traveled widely and is a great appreciator of Indian street food. I'm Divya Iyer. I'm leading this team, and my family has experience in the restaurant business. We need exactly $3,200 to get this business rolling in terms of paying Duke Dining for food license and the rent. And we're planning to open 3 stalls, East, West, and Central campus. And it took us less than 1 minute to get pumped about this idea, and before we knew it, we were out there on the streets of Duke watching our so it's basically the picture had we plan to
This actually happens to be a model that I'm a huge believer in. Obviously, I'm familiar with Chat, and street food around the world is where I live. But in looking at this model and in forecasting the revenue streams, actually getting a high enough sales rate to cover our costs is not such an easy thing to do. Have you looked at that, and what are your thoughts in terms of pricing?
We calculated the costs, which is actually up there on the next slide, but then that's okay. So we figured that we could make a substantial amount of profit out of it, depending on, because the fixed costs and the variable costs are really less for making this, because it's just a bunch of things put together and then you make it. And we're also expanding, these are just 2 products, but then we're expanding it to make a full, at least 7 or 8 products. And then we're gonna give it for like $2 per cup or something like that, so that, so people eat it really, and it's a light snack, so people prefer it. And there's nothing like that on campus right now. We have McDonald's, but people don't prefer to eat that at light because it's like a full meal. It's like light snacks, so we believe that people would might like this.
Thank you. Pure Hair Salon, that team here. Chakra Mantra.
Let's get some dinner.
Where do you want to go?
About Panda.
Every time I eat there, I hate myself.
McDonald's.
I don't want junk food, something healthy.
The Loop.
I get it all the time. I need a change.
Okay. 10,000-acre campus. We don't have many great options to do it. An average Duke student undergoes this many times a week.
Duke students want change, and we're here to deliver change. Finding healthy, tasty food shouldn't add to the already stressful life of a Dukey. As you can see, a sample menu is high in carbohydrates, proteins, essential antioxidants, and with negligible traces in fat, unlike other Indian food and other cuisines. Duke has offered its students all the basic needs: basketball, housing, education, tailgate, oops, oh, not tailgate. Back burner. And with the demand in place, the ingredients and the skill labor already available, we'll go all out to set shop in Duke to serve you guys after bagging the limelight in the Duke Startup Challenge. Thank you.
So how is this more than just another restaurant?
Number one, when we found out what students wanted, they wanted a healthier choice.
I guess what I'm getting at before you go on is where does this scale? Where does this go beyond
It's
this?
going to be a proper restaurant with takeaway and sit-in options.
But one location?
In one location in Duke, and after this we want to expand to the RTP region, catering to corporates, because there are 15,000 associates in the RTP region. That's a huge target group that we are looking at. So we want to first set base in Duke with the help of the numerous incubator programs that are available. Then we want to target the RTP and have a franchise model rolling after that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Over 150,000 people land at Chicago's O'Hare Airport every single day. And whether they're coming home from a long trip or arriving at their travel destination, travelers need food.
The most voracious food buyers are ones who are hungry. I mean, everyone's hungry off airline food.
So what if, when all those travelers deplaned, a small, specialized grocery store was waiting for them right by baggage claim?
Airmark quenches travelers' immediate wants and needs and prevents that miserable post-travel grocery store drudge. Why not fill your fridge while you're waiting for your luggage?
If only 5% of total travelers stop in Airmart and even half of those travelers decide to purchase, spending an average of $10 per customer, Airmart gross revenue would be $37,000 a day or $13.7 million a year.
Airmark can pack and move your bags out to ground transportation in temp-sealed bags so they'll stay fresh. Convenience and freshness, Airmark.
Pack your bags, we'll pack your groceries.
All right, well, we're mumbling about the barriers to entry. Getting this business in. Oh, you got. All right.
No, finish your question.
No, that's it.
Just barriers to entry. So we had thought about this for undergrads. How can we do this? Actually, my dad's best friend, my godfather, has already done a bunch of deals having to do with like airport spas. If you've seen those, like sort of like a Hudson News type store in airports. Basically, he already has the connections, and he's been waiting to sort of throw them at me as well. So we leverage those to make sort of a small market entry at first, see how we do, attract investors. He's already on board. And once we do, we would expand it afterward. But we believe that once we can show profit at one airport, most airports wouldn't turn us down.
Thank you.
Workshop? Healthtrip.com.
I'm Anubhav representing healthtrip.com. Currently, the medical tourism industry is a very disruptive field in the global healthcare sector. The industry is slated to go at 20% per annum, and it will reach up to $100 billion by 2012. The problem with the industry currently is it's not organized, and it has not been tapped into really. What we plan to do is provide this service to all the patients out there and get them cheap, really relevant medical tourism for their requirements. Even this year, about 1 million people are stated to travel out of the United States to get medical treatments. Why? Because it's 90% costs are being saved right there. We want only $15,000 for our startup, and we have a cross-functional team consisting of a doctor, a researcher, and we hope to be a profitable model by the end of next year. Thank you.
So the concept itself is not new. I mean, there are companies out there that already offer travel packages for health reasons. So how does your company differentiate itself from the existing competitors?
So the problem with our competitors is they don't have really any actual credibility associated with them. We plan to tie up with American fellows who are present all over the world. We have strategic alliances with the air travel companies, and it's kind of a whole product that we are giving to our customer base. And we already have a network established. I have a friend who has experience in the industry in the US as well as in India, and we have a whole lot of network to actually get many doctors on board. That's probably the biggest differentiating factor that we have.
Is that the website?
No, the website does not exist.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Drink up devices. Do you need the?
Oh no, I don't have When a home brewer first opens a fresh beer, when a bar goer tastes a drink that seems a bit weak, or when a college student is offered a mysterious red plastic cup, the same question is asked: how much alcohol is really in this? I'm Margaret Upshur, a BME and Econ undergrad, and along with Ricky Marin, an EC undergrad, we've developed a device that can accurately measure the alcohol content of beverages. We currently have a prototype that fits discreetly within the shape of a pin, and we can predict that production will be about $5 per device. Right now, we believe that the biggest potential is in the home brewery and winemaker markets, a $500 million per year market in the US alone. If we can tap just 5% of this market and sell the device at $20 per device, we are looking at $5 million in revenue. Right now, there are no other options in the market that can intuitively and instantaneously predict the alcohol content of the beverage. Right now, we are looking for your help to further protect our intellectual property and to improve our prototype for this.
Stop.
I just need to understand, it's a quick question, and I'm sorry, it's not going to delve into strategy or anything like that, but is it a one-time usage, or does somebody buy it once and then it works essentially forever?
You can use it, basically it has cartridges that go in it, and each cartridge can be used up to 6 times. So you would buy the one thing and it would be a one-time price, but then after the 6 usages, you would need to buy a second pack of cartridges.
Okay.
And those would be relatively cheap. We're thinking maybe $5.
Okay.
Great, thank you. Oris and Jenna, are you here? Johnson, right? I think they're good up there. Can you do it?
Ready to go? Oh.
Hi, I'm Benjamin Ryman. This is Tom Schumann. We're here tonight to talk to you about Oris and Jenna. So Oris and Jenna, basically, our idea is to have an iMechanic iApp. What you can do is you can hook it up and listen to your car. And what that allows you to do is, let's say your car is broken down, you're out in the middle of nowhere. It listens and uses a sound identification algorithm, similar to a program like Shazam, to identify exactly what the problem is. We're targeting our market, as I said before, as an application on an iPhone at young professionals and females and men that don't know a lot about their cars. You know, a lot of these young professionals will have a smartphone which they can use to listen to their car, and basically it tells them what is the problem with their car, and then we're looking at targeted advertising from different mechanics who would pay money to have their specific business advertised on iMechanic. So we're tapping into a $37.5 billion market. Thank you.
Yeah, so I guess the question is two parts. First, have you already developed this application? And if so, you know, have you tested it in practice?
Okay, the algorithm's in progress. You can do, so with Shazam, they have one algorithm that works for every song. We have to use different signal processing techniques for different problems. So the difficulty for us is expanding our library to all problems. We can do specific problems, but it's still under development to do a marketable product for all problems that you would do.
Great job, guys. Very impressive. All right, so now the judging is going to start. You guys want to go out in the hallway and start deliberating. And then audience, I'll get you guys started on the judging. All right, so guys, take out your cell phones. Hopefully you brought them. The way that this works is text to this number, 22333, the keyword or key number to the team that you want to vote for. Maybe you have questions. So if you guys have been inspired by tonight's event and you would like to participate, we have the executive summary competition in the spring. You don't have to have participate tonight to participate then. It is a little more involved. You do need to submit a 2-page executive summary, and it starts in February with the finale happening in April. But the prize is a lot bigger. It's about $25,000 plus some various prizes. Okay. So we had a tie tonight for the audience choice. Yeah, very exciting. Okay. So to break this tie, I asked the judges to break this tie. So for the audience choice winner, going to the finals, we have. Okay, again, just a reminder, our grand finale event is this Friday. It's going to be really exciting. We'll have 16 teams pitching. Okay. So judges' overall runner-up award goes to Airmart. Before we do final winner, I'm going to actually ask the judges to give some general feedback on the pitches for the evening. You guys ready to mind? You guys have one person or?
Well, I'm happy to give some basic feedback. 60 seconds is not a lot of time to get anything across. So if you're giving another elevator pitch, I would say, tell me quickly what the problem is, tell me what the solution is, tell me where you are in developing that solution, and then tell me how much money you're going to make. And you ought to be able to do that in 60 seconds.
Yeah, I think some of these I struggled with the so what factor. I mean, these are to be a winner. You want to we wanted to look at ideas that we'd be proud to showcase to an investor in Facebook. And like, so what's the big win here? And I think a lot of the ideas that we favored were ones that had some scalability, some so what beyond something that was so localized that could be a good business, but might not be of interest to a venture capitalist or for the big win that I think they're looking for.
I think I wanted to say, given the constraints that we had to deal with, you had 1 minute, we had one question, and you had limited time to answer that, you may very well be sitting on a fantastic winning idea, and there were a few in here that really could take off fairly quickly. So if you're not the winner, you really want to think about the fact that in that 1 minute, convincing somebody that here's the problem, here's my solution, here's what it's going to do financially, and this is how I'm going to make people aware of it. You got to pick those words. Every single word's going to matter, and you can do it.
I'm just.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, no, sure.
I didn't have a whole lot to add. I like Jay's point of being very precise in the words and talking about what the problem is, how you're going to fix it. You want to be careful not to necessarily make the assumption that who you're pitching to has the problem or something, because they may not, and if they don't have that problem, then immediately you're sort of lost. The other thing I would recommend that you do is to write out your elevator pitch and get a timer and just practice. I do that. I have a Toastmasters thing that I do, and you gotta hit the mark. So write it out and think carefully about every single word.
Thanks, guys. Perfect. All right. So the second team going to a finale this Friday is, drumroll please. Again, just thank you to our sponsors. Have a great evening, everybody.
Produced by Duke University, online at duke.edu.